Welcome back. Let's bring in the political experts now to take a closer look at the election results and, of course, what comes next.
And joining us now here in studio, Republican strategist Tamika Hamilton and Democrat strategist Roger Salazar. Thanks for being here. Guys, we want to start off with the balance of power. We know Republicans nearly have the trifecta. They have the White House, the Senate, but the House is still anyone's game. Let's start with you, Tamika. What does this mean for the Republican agenda and the Trump agenda?
Yeah, so I don't think anyone anticipated a clean sweep. So right now it's just like a waiting game on, the results for the House. And, people are really optimistic about the future in terms of, the promises that Donald Trump has made over the past 2 years for border security, no tax on tips, putting money back in the American people's pocket. Those are the things that, are, having people being really positive about this term.
Well, it could make it easier to pass anything that he wants to get through, right?
Right, of course.
Okay, and then on the Democrat side, how is this kind of changing their strategy, knowing how this has adjusted here?
Well, first and foremost, I think that they're going to keep a very close watch on what's happening in all these House races. That's really their last hope right now, to have some sort of check on Donald Trump's power. They want to make sure that they're at least able to hold him accountable, hold him up, or even with when you have tight margins, because you can always sort of get folks who are sort of moderates from either side to sort of vote with you. So you want to have at least be within a couple of votes so that you can actually try to hold some things up if you're able to. That's really the only spot they can do it, because the Senate obviously is flipped as well.
And keep in mind, a lot of eyes will be right here on California watching what happens to determine the control of the House there. I guess my question would be, what message do you think voters were sending with these election results last night, and what have Republicans learned and what have Democrats learned? We'll start.
I think for Democrats, it's really sort of simple. It's I worked in the Clinton administration. James Carville famously said, "It's the economy, stupid." And I think in this election, what we really saw is you can talk about all these sorts of things. You can sort of try to hit Trump on what kind of his character or his activities, but really people wanted to focus on what's important to them. What are the bread and butter issues that matter to me? And I'll just be frank, as Democrats, we need to do a better job of talking to working class Americans about what we're going to do to help them and push make their lives easier.
And for the Republican side, what message did you get from voters last night?
Again, just like what we talked about last night, it's like getting back to reality. People wanted to get back to the basics. They wanted to be able to talk about things that matter to them the most. And, we saw where people were focused on, again, those kitchen table issues, putting money back in their pockets, taxes, crime. Prop 36 is a huge thing here in California. And so now people are having kind of like a sigh of relief. Okay, you heard us. Now let's get to work.
Our conversation is really just getting started. Our experts are going to stand by. They'll be back in the 6 o'clock hour to answer more questions.
And we have a roundup of election night speeches on ABC 10 Plus. That's under the news tab. You can find a section titled Your Voice, Your Vote. Remember, the app is free wherever you get your streaming apps, including Roku and Amazon Fire.